So one issue I had when I got into two-strokes was learning to mix fuel. It really kind of sketched me out trying to figure that out because, I mean, you can blow your shit up, you know, and you don't want to do that. So you gotta get that mixture just right. You need to figure out what mixture is best for you depending on your altitude and your temperature and everything that comes into consideration depending on where you live and how your bike's gonna run depending on the air quality. My safest bet has always been the oil ratio 32:1. I've ran that in all of my machines. I had a Blaster 230 big bore. I ran 32:1. I've had two RM85s. Both of them. One of them was really well built, and the other one was stock. Both of them ran on 32:1. I had a KX85 32:1, YZ85 32:1, and then this guy, my KX65, also 32:1. So I'm going to show you how to mix fuel. That's what this video is going to be for. What you're going to need is your two-stroke fuel premix, your gasoline, a fuel ratio cup, and your coffee. And that's going to be it. So first thing you want to do is figure out what kind of gas can your machine take safely. I looked up, I have the owner's manual for this bike, and I checked it out and it said not to use anything below 90. So I picked up 2 gallons of 93. So after you figure out what kind of fuel your bike needs, this is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to get your gas can and figure out what the capacity is on it. This is a 2-gallon tank. It says down there. I'm not going to try to show you because you can just believe me. That's a 2-gallon gas tank, and you want to get as close as you can to that number. You don't want to go 2.5. I mean, you can go 2.5 gallons, but it's going to get confusing there. So just do a solid amount. 1 gallon, 2 gallons, 3 gallons, 5 gallons, 10 gallons. It doesn't really matter. But your oil, your premix is also another big important thing. You want to run something that's really nice. I've been running this Lucas Land & Sea 2-stroke premix for mostly for my Honda Elites, but I've had to use this for the last 3 gallons I've had in here because I haven't had any clots. Clots is fucking mint. That's the good shit. That's what you want. Get clots. It's like $53 for this container. Kind of expensive. This was like 20, but that's worth it. It smells amazing. It makes your bike run awesome, and you get to say that you run clots. So get rid of this. Get yourself some clots. Get yourself some premium fuel and a ratio cup. This has ratio numbers all over it for depending what ratio you want to do, how much, you know, everything. And I'm going to show you how to do this, how to mix 32:1 anyway. Now, I've already mentioned how much I worry about blowing up my machines and mixing fuel and everything. So I check over my work time and time again to make sure I'm doing it right. So this is what I do when I'm double checking my work. Since I've been using this stuff, it has this little cheat sheet on it. So I'm going to show you how I use. So I've got a 2-gallon gas tank, and I want to mix 32:1. So I need 8 ounces of oil. So that's what I'm going to measure out. I'm going to go to this cup, find where it says ounces, not the ratio. I'm going to go to the ounces. 8 ounces right there. So I'm going to fill it up to 8 ounces. Because that's what this jug says. For 2 gallons of gas and 32:1, mix it at 8 gallons. So that's what I'm going to do. Or not 8 gallons, 8 ounces. So I'm going to take my clots, crack this open for the first time. Yay, so happy to be finally switching back to clots. There's a little bit of Lucas in here, but that's all right. It is what it is. Let's get to pouring. One thing that'll help, another thing that'll help, don't pour, like, don't grab your container and pour it like this. It's not gonna work. You're gonna get it everywhere. Turn that sideways like this, and you should have a better outcome. I'm not gonna say you will, because you might still spill, but you have better chances. All right, so I'm gonna fill this up to 8 ounces. It already smells good. Oh. All right. That's all right. So it's all right to go slightly above, because it's not all gonna come out anyway. That's a little bit more than what I wanted to do, I'll admit, but it'll be all right. So it's at 8 ounces, and that's just what the jug told me. But this is the ratio cup, so it tells you if you're right. So I'm gonna go to this side. Find up here, it says gallons. There we go, I got 2 gallons, and I want 32 to 1. Boom. Pretty much right on the dot. 32 to 1, right there in the middle. And for 2 gallons. So that's double checking my work. It says 8 ounces. I put 8 ounces in. Check the other side of the cup. Sure enough, 32 to 1. I'm gonna crack open my fuel here, if I can do so one-handed. It's my premium fuel. Can't forget, take a drink of your coffee. And let's get to mixing. So you got your 2 gallons. Always make sure you got 2 gallons and you're setting up for 2 gallons here. You don't want to set up for 1 gallon here and put that into there and then, you know, go riding, because that's what I did, I think. So don't do that. Double check your work all the time. And get to pouring. Look at that. Nice. Such a beautiful sight. Clots. I've waited too long to go back to clots. Now, when I got into 2-strokes, I didn't do it alone, believe me. I am not that cool. So, I've got a really good friend, my buddy Travis. He's taught me so much. And one thing that helps right here, because there's still a lot of oil in there. You just take your can, pour some back in. I'm gonna put the cap on to make it easier so I don't make a huge mess. Even though this cap doesn't fit, so it makes a mess anyway. Just gonna pour some gas back in there so you can mix it around and get the remaining mix out of here. You don't need too much. You want to be able to mix it in there. Open this back up. As you can see, it got all messy because, like I said, this doesn't fit well. Set that back over there. Set this cap over here. Grab you guys. Look at this pretty sight. You just want to mix that up. It's not going to mix up incredibly well, but way better than it was. Pretty much what's going to happen inside the gas can anyway, but better since this one doesn't really have a very well constructed lid. Yeah, it already dumps out if I try to do that. I'm not gonna do that. Good enough, eh? Just go on and pour that in there. It's a lot more oil That's out now, that wasn't before. So now you got all your fuel mixed, or not mixed, but in there. You gotta throw the cap on again and get to mixing. What sucks is my KX65 here is already full on fuel. So I'm not even gonna be able to throw the clutch in it yet. Still gotta burn off all that Lucas. It's gonna let out a lot of gas no matter what, so I'm gonna do this back here. Over the grass, because since this has oil in it, it's gonna make a mess if it gets on the cement. You wanna mix it up as good as you can. Spraying gas all over the place, I hate it. It should be good for now. So I can't use it anyway, I'm gonna mix it again, I'm sure. But there you go. You get your clots, 32 to 1, and then you got your gas tank. Somebody buy me a new gas tank, gas can. You just, as soon as it tips over, it just starts draining. No bueno. But alright. Again, I hope this has helped. Short instructional video on how to mix 32 to 1. And again, this isn't only for my bike. 32 to 1 is a really great ratio for almost anything. So if you're trying to figure out what fuel to mix at, if you're trying to figure out how to do it, if you got an 85 or a 65 or possibly even a 125, give it a shot. You got this. Or use the cheat sheets. Hope this has helped anybody. I know that I wasn't able to find good enough videos to help me out when I was doing this. I would always have to call or get a hold of my buddy Travis. And it's just like, why isn't there enough videos? It's easy enough to do, easy enough to teach. There should be videos. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna keep trying to upload videos like this here and there of little things that I'm doing. Try to take you guys on this journey. Alright, again, take it easy. Quick thing I should add into the video while I remember. You guys saw I put slightly too much oil in the ratio cup. You don't have to worry about that. Anytime I mix 32 to 1, I always add a little bit extra oil to it, because it's always better safe than sorry. If you're adding extra oil, that's just gonna mean that your cylinder is more well lubricated. So don't be afraid to add, don't be afraid if you go a little bit overboard with the oil. It's just gonna be slightly helpful if anything. So yeah, forgot to mention that. It's alright to add a little bit extra. Still 32 to 1. Still gonna run fucking mint.